The easiest way to grow your business is to increase your revenue. And the easiest way to increase your revenue is to either make your customers pay more or spend less time on delivery, which allows you to have more clients. All you need is a few ready-to-use ideas. And believe me, it's often easier than it looks. Don't try to reinvent the wheel when everything you need is already out there. My businesses make millions every year, and the best part is that the things that are making me the most money are things I've stolen or copied from my competitors. In this video, I will give you 3 proven methods I've used to make tons of money with minimal effort that you can copy too. And they work no matter the size of your business or the industry you're in. The first one is the easiest, but the third one is my favorite and made me over 6 figures in only a few weeks. So number 1, leverage the trust businesses have in your competitors. And I'll get to how you can do this in a second, but let me tell you this first. What I'm about to tell you works best when you're pitching to new clients or when a client talks to you about leaving you for another business. So what you're going to do is that you're basically going to put yourself on the same level as your competitor right away so that you can level the playing field. After that, you add extras that differentiate you from them in a positive way. For example, let's say you have an iPhone and I'm trying to sell you my Q phone, which I just made up. The problem I'm facing is that you know iPhones as being really good phones and you've never heard of the Q phone. So what you're going to do is this. This iPhone is great for making calls, sending messages and checking your email. Well, my Q phone does the exact same thing. Boom, we're already very similar and the client is already comparing us as kind of equals. But my Q phone also offers hologram video calls, which means that when you video call someone, they will pop out of your screen in 3D. You see the difference here? You compare your product to the other one and then you differentiate with a feature that isn't one the other product has, making your product so damn interesting. And this works no matter what you're offering. You can name features if you're offering physical products, but you can also add extra services if you're a service-based business. If you're an agency of some kind, you can offer like project delivery within 24 hours, 2 times per year, if that's doable for you in your business. That way, when your client has an urgent need, you can deliver what they need at no extra cost. I mean, customers love speed, so if you can provide something faster, that's valuable. And also, it doesn't cost you anything extra, so that's a win-win. The thing that you're looking for are things that make your client say, damn, that's good, like my Q phone's hologram video call. And if you do it well enough, it will even trigger their fear of missing out, which means that they will be more likely to buy from you or stay with you. And this is why I love a market with competition. And let me tell you why you should too. One of the hardest things you possibly have to do is to convince someone they need your product or service, and especially if they're either not aware of their problem or that your solution solves that said problem. But when they're already working with your competitor, it's your competitor who already did the heavy lifting for you. They had to convince and educate your client for the first time, which means that you don't have to do it yourself anymore. You can just swoop in and start selling. You place your product or service right next to the other one they already know, and then you start building from there. It's easy, right? And big bonus points if you manage to find out what your client dislikes about your competitor, because then you're absolutely and totally golden. Because first, you've leveled the playing field by putting yourself right next to your competitor. After that, you've differentiated by stacking as many features and benefits as you possibly could. Plus, you have that one thing you found out the client dislikes or gets annoyed by that you can solve or isn't an issue with your offer. And that right there, that's a home run, slam dunk, or however you want to call it. And the best part, it costs you an absolute $0 extra. You're just adding things you already have as if it were some kind of bonus. The second method is copy the reasons your competitors' clients chose to work with them. One of the questions that allowed me to turn my recruiting agency into a seven-figure business with just 3 people is this. What are the top 3 reasons you chose with your current sales, recruitment, marketing partner? Or the variation, what are the top 3 reasons you chose not to work with me if they turned you down? Because you see, all the answers you're looking for are already out there, as I said. It's way easier to copy your competitors by learning from their successes and mistakes than having to go through trial and error multiple times yourself. So gather every piece of market info you can find and use that to improve your offer, product, service, whatever your business is. Because oftentimes the original big companies get replaced. Like take Nokia, for example. Do you remember them? When I was a teenager, the Nokia 3310 was all that mattered in terms of mobile phones. And in 2005, they were the absolute number 1 with over 32% market share. And today they don't even have 1% anymore. They got replaced by brands that innovated like Apple or Samsung. And they took Nokia's product and made improvement after improvement until they were top of the market. And this proves that you don't have to be first, you have to be better. And you get better by asking the ones actually buying your stuff why they chose to work with company X or why they are not working with them anymore. And that's it. You ask these questions, you go back to the drawing board and you improve. And if this is the only thing you apply from this video, I guarantee that your revenue will grow. But watch out for this next common mistake. Don't ask just why or don't ask just for the reason, because most of the time you won't get the most value out of their answers. But by asking for the top 3 reasons, you force them to think and to give you as much as valuable information as they can. And hey, if they don't come up with 3, that's fine. Don't burn any bridges by annoying the hell out of people because you absolutely wanted your 3 reasons. 1 or 2 reasons will allow you to improve your business drastically. For example, I have a social recruiting agency where we run job ads and upload branding campaigns on social media. And these are the 2 biggest takes I can share with you that work in almost every agency business model. The first one is that a company turned me down for being too cheap. They didn't believe that I was going to deliver great results in return for the price I was asking for. So I raised my price, and that's big win number 1. Because let's be honest, the last thing you want to hear as a business owner is that a client chose you just because you were the cheapest. I mean, that's as close as getting insulting as can be, right? It's like the only perceived value your client saw in you was your cheap price. And the second thing is that I learned clients don't like spending money on ads out of their own pocket on top of the fee they paid me, which makes sense, right? It makes them feel like they're paying double. So I started offering an all-inclusive price with advertisement budget included. And this gave me 2 clear benefits. First, I raised my price again. And 2, the better the ad copy and creatives got, the less money I had to spend on ads, which led to increasing my profit. And that's really big win number 2. And at the end of the day, I now charge around $3,000 per month per campaign with around 75% profit margin with my social recruiting agency. And the other companies in my industry charge anywhere from $750 to $1,500 per month, which makes me earn more and allows me to keep more profit. And if you have to work for $10,000, it's better to have 10 clients paying you $1,000 per month than having 1,000 clients paying you $10 per month, because you make the same money but for way more work. And the biggest advantage of high prices is that people trust you more, because expensive things are perceived as good or valuable. I mean, Ferrari, Fiat, and if you need to do something extra for clients, you've always got the budget to do so. But now it's time for my all-time favorite method. And I must admit, it's a bit of a sneaky one sometimes. So method number 3, get your competitors to tell you their secrets themselves. But how do you do that? How do you get them to share the recipe of their secret sauce? It's not like you can cold call them or send the CEO an email asking them to spill the beans, right? Well, that's only partially true. There are two ways around it. The first one, I would only advise to use like I did it before you start your business. Otherwise, it's a bit of an ethically gray area. When I was starting my social recruiting agency, I called other similar agencies and asked them for a sales call using the name of another company I owned at the time. And since they thought I was a potential customer, I got to experience firsthand how they were pitching their service, what they were charging, how they handled their objections, and how they followed up. And these meetings gave me a ton of insight and information I would not have had any other way. It's really a great way to get some inside information, but as I said, don't do it when you already have your business set up. I'm not judging here, I'm just sharing my point of view. But hey, it's still a lot better than corporate espionage, right? And the second way to access the juice is through hiring. When you hire people with experience, they bring their knowledge and experience with them. And even if you don't hire them, you can ask all the juicy questions you want during the job interview anyway. A few years ago, I was interviewing a top sales rep from another agency, and unfortunately, he didn't end up working for me. Too bad for me. Nevertheless, during the interview, he told me strategy. And the reason why I was so damn good was because he did something super simple but very effective. Whenever he had a success story with a client, he did the following thing. He would take that success story and turn it into a case study. He would then email that case study to every competitor of his client and also similar businesses. And in that email, he used a really simple message, just saying, hey, we did X for company Y and got X result. Here's the proof. If you're interested or if you want to know more, click on the link below and book a meeting. And it worked! Some people would book a call after the first email and some after the 10th, doesn't really matter. But the most impressive thing was this: 4 out of 5 sales calls would become customers. That's an 80% close rate, that's gigantic! And even though he ended up not working for me, well, I tried this method. And you know what? It made us 6 figures in revenue in only a few weeks. It was crazy. As I said, all the answers you're looking for are already out there. All you have to do is ask. Ask the right questions and ask them to the right people. And then you do 3 things. You iterate, and you iterate. And if you thought this was good stuff, watch this video next.